Hey, Coach Kinsey Shea here, transformational coach and heart math trauma sensitive practitioner. Like, subscribe, do all that fun jazz. And I am just so blessed to be here. We are doing a series to help kind of move through the holidays. We started with reset. That was 1. 2 was regulate. And then this week is the 3rd one. And we're really taking time to reconnect. Observance of our tree. Tree observance. That's what I think of like Christmas. I did an acronym with tree. So, and it really tied into how we observe and we take it all in. So, tree, time, R, reflect, E, energy, and another E, it's everywhere. Our energy is everywhere. It's just taking time to reflect and gain awareness. So reconnection or reconnect is us being aware of our essence and our truth. It's the journey to it. I like to split it up in chakras, meaning just imagine like 7 balls of light, or suns, or however you want to visualize it, going up your spine. So 1 is down on the the base of your pelvis. And today we're going to go through 1 to 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And it's focused more on our systems, our communities, the tribal sense of group that we, organizations. It's where all of our kind of beliefs, like our family beliefs, if we're part of a church, those types of beliefs. But the key is just, like I said, it's awareness of self. So we're really investigating and discovering what kind of makes us tick, if you will. Because when we get activated, remember, it's an invitation to learn about ourselves. And then on reclaim, it's more turning into our elevating to sense of self, all the way up to being conscious. So being at one with oneself. So we'll go through that on reclaim. But today, number 1, it's basically the ball of energy in the base of your pelvis. It kind of is our security, our safety in groups, our tribe, our family, different organizations, like if you're in the military or healthcare, it's service type positions. It's kind of the unwritten or unspoken rules, or the way that we show up or engage with one another. Like if we're in a system or organization of healthcare, there's a certain way we show up. If we're military, there's a certain way we show up. It's our tribe, our system, our culture. So it's basically, we have a tendency to feel at home, whether it's social or familiar, or it's basically just a standard of how the group or system shows up. So a good way to really become aware of yourself is asking yourself just a few questions. I just picked a few. There's many different ways to go about finding yourself in these different chakras and becoming aware. But what belief patterns did you inherit from your family? What belief patterns? Did you feel like you had to get married right away and have kids? Did you feel that you had to have the quote unquote dream of owning a house and family and a good job? I mean, what were you told? What beliefs were you brought up with? Did you have to go to school at all costs? Did you, if, just things, beliefs that you just inherently learned from your family? And does this system or tribe, does it still have authority over you? Do you have your own core values, not inherited core values? Something that is your guiding star. It's your values. I like to tell people to get 4 core values. It's something that people, when they think of you, they know what you stand for. Integrity, grateful, compassionate heart, honest person, those type of things. What do people notice about you? 1, and what is your actual core values? What is an alignment? It keeps you in alignment. Have you ever compromised your core values or your standards? And have you taken steps to heal it if you have? This may look different for everybody. Might look different for everybody. So 2, it's the second ball of energy. Remember, we have 7 going up, and it goes from the base of our pelvis all the way up. So the second's more like a ball of energy in your pelvis, kind of where all your sexual organs are. It's a center of personal power. So it's all about control, physical survival, but the core of it, the absolute core of it, is relationships. What's your relationship with money? What's your relationship with sex? Family? Is, your relationships casual or more intimate? Fear of, when it's off balance, so you can have a fear of loss of control that leads to addiction. You can get a feeling of lost control when you're raped, feeling betrayal. It can affect how you take risk with these fears of abandonment. So where's your energy going? Is it, when you think of something, do you go, this is the fork in the road, it is your choice, replenishing or positive feelings, or depleting and negative feelings? Which one do you anchor to? Do you embellish when you're telling the facts of the story so that you kind of protect yourself? It's basically supporting your point of view. Do you embellish? 3, are you comfortable with your relationship to money? It could be blank, 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 so with blank. So are you comfortable with? And you can kind of fill it in. Are you comfortable with sex? Yes or no? Observe, reflect, and reserve all of the judgment on yourself and others. Are you comfortable with your financial situation? Yes or no? reflect, observe, reserve judgment. So just kind of fill in that. And that will give you kind of milestones or things that need to be worked on. Because remember, when you get triggered or activated, it's an invitation to self-discovery, to know your truth and your essence. So it's a magical, wonderful process. So number 3, this is kind of just above the belly button. So remember, we have the first, second, and third, right? And this one's just above the belly button. It's the development of self-esteem, our personality. It's our identity separate from the system or the tribe. So this is when we're starting to transition into oneself and to being conscious. So do you have a set personal code of values? Are you accountable and take responsibility for who you are? And having awareness of your personal code and living it each and every day. When you get a little off alignment with this, when we leak energy out to our wounds, it can affect our trust, cause fear, self-esteem. It can affect our respect for ourselves, courage, and resiliency, our coping. So good questions to ask yourself. Do you like yourself? Point blank, bam. Be honest. Are you embellishing it? Take note what's showing up in your mind. Let it guide you. What don't you like when you're observing and reflecting without judgment? Whatever shows up is perfect. Just allow it to come in and reflect. So when you write down what you don't like about yourself, ask yourself, why? Why do I feel this way? And remember, whatever shows up is perfect. It's your little roadmap to discover yourself. And another bam, are you able to admit it? Take stock. If you notice that you're diverting or trying to embellish, just take stock of that and try day after day doing steps to get to that alignment. Another question, do you need approval from others? Do you have to, okay, I used to do this all the time. Before I made any decision, I would call my best friend, or I would call my brother, or I called somebody, and they are my parents, and I would want them to justify and to approve of whatever I did. It wasn't based off of my core values. It wasn't in alignment. So really ask yourself, do I need approval from other people? Do you like yourself? Do you have a tendency to blame others? So today, I went through the first 3 chakras, the first 3 balls of energy, if you will, that are stacked on one another. That we started at the base of the pelvis where 1 is, and then your pelvic area is 2, then just above your belly button is 3. So 3 chakras that we went through, and that is of the whole process of reconnection, because reconnection takes awareness. It takes awareness of ourselves, of our wounds. So keep on stepping, moving forward. And then next week, we'll go into reclaim. So that's really owning our identity, expanding up into our unconscious mind, and just really embracing our truth and our essence, because it's magical. And remember, during this holiday season, do some tree observance. Just observe yourself, because we all come from our tribes, our roots. But when we mature and nurture and move up with all those positive emotions, we can get up to an expanded awareness and heal our mind, body, spirit, and our emotional state, and how we show up in the world. So come next week, 5 p.m. Pacific time every Saturday, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like, subscribe, do all that fun jazz. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Light, love, and gratitude.